Hello and welcome to Dropkick, the Commute for June 11th, 2024. Let me think of a fun fact for today. I finished Destiny 2, the final shape, and it was like the Avengers.
Wow, how much extra content did you pay for?
It was a decent amount. It's $50. and I bought the expansion before it was on sale. So, it was worth it. Fun time.
I thought you said worth it sometimes.
No, a fun time.
Fun time. I downloaded Mafia because it's been in my Steam library.
Ooh, which one?
The first one. I got all three.
I have never played the first one. I only played the second and third.
I've never played any of them.
Oh, there's boobies.
So, I hope they're good.
With the what? The boobies or the games?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess both, if we're being honest. I didn't know there was boobies until you just said it.
Yeah, and the second one, you can collect Playboy magazines as a collectible.
You can collect boobies.
Oh,
but you know what else you can collect?
Our wrestling knowledge?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
We have a lot to cover this week because we watched NXT on Sunday, so the episode before this will be our reaction to NXT, but we didn't talk about the weekly shows. So starting off with SmackDown last Friday, Paul Heyman's fucking terrified of the Bloodline, bro.
Scared man.
He's a scared boy,
man, and it's not getting any better. I heard someone point out that Solo kind of looks like a child with the way he dresses up. It kind of looks like he got clothes that are like way too big for him.
Yeah.
And then the shoes are a choice for sure. And then he's also wearing gloves.
Yeah, at all times.
And they're right. He doesn't really look all that imposing. He looks like he went through his dad's wardrobe and just, found what he could. I honestly think I would take him more seriously, still in a leadership role, if he just came out how he usually does
wore his gear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, though, they look pretty badass. I like their gear.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan. We had the anointment of it was meant for Tama Tonga, but they both were anointed.
Yeah.
And we have been Tama Tonga has been granted the name of right-hand man to Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
And we will now be referring to his tag team partner as the infamous Tonga Loa.
It's very goofy, but I'm kind of here for it. I
didn't realize that's what they were rolling with until they said it more than once, and I was like, oh, this is...
Yeah, because Paul Heyman said Tonga Loa, and then Solo gave him a dirty look, and he's like, oh, sorry, the infamous Tonga Loa.
No, it was all too good.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman hated every second of it.
Yeah, he's a scared little boy.
I'm wondering what they're going to have going for them at the pay-per-view, if anything.
They're probably going to build something to Money in the Bank, but I feel like at least before SummerSlam, they got to get one more Bloodline member in there, and then Roman's going to come back at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I was also hearing some people talk about maybe War Games being like the payoff, like old Bloodline versus new Bloodline.
That's a long build.
That's a very long build, but who knows?
Yeah.
I was hearing Jacob Fatu could be added. There's also Hikuleo.
Yep.
If you've ever heard of Hikuleo.
I saw stuff about him. I know zero about him, though.
Yeah, he's a New Japan guy. They're all New Japan guys.
Yeah.
Most part, but I like it as someone, as I would categorize myself as an internet wrestling fan, because I know these people are. The WWE audience might not, and they're just kind of like, oh, it's another Tongan or Samoan man.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm really going to enjoy like Bloodline Civil War Part 2. I think it'd be really cool. And like I said last week, like the fact that the Bloodline still has this longevity and they're sticking to the story, and it is different every time. There's like different eras of the Bloodline, and it's been different every time, and I think it's really cool how they're doing it. And it's definitely probably it's definitely one of the most compelling stories on SmackDown. I would say really SmackDown focuses on this and then Cody. Anything with Cody, like, because obviously Cody's the guy. So it's Cody and then the Bloodline. That's what you watch SmackDown for. Like, similar to Raw, like you watch Raw for Alpha Academy and Judgment Day / Dom / Liv, like all that. So they really have two stories for each show, like two main stories at least. And I think it's going really well.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll continue down the path, the Bloodline path.
Yeah.
But also on, like you were saying with SmackDown, the other big focus is Cody, our world champion, who was camping the parking garage or the loading dock or whatever it was, and he was like grumbling, he was grunting, he was barking.
It was like, rah, where's AJ? Rah.
Waiting for AJ. Waiting for AJ to show up. Nick Aldis kept showing up and was like, "Hey, buddy, like, calm down. Like, he will be here at some point."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay here and wait for AJ.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of him."
And then Aldis brought security back and was like, "He's gonna be here any minute now."
Yeah.
And then they had a little face off. He pulled up in the car. There was kind of a scuffle. They got separated. And then the camera follows Cody while he's going, ooh, 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 ooh. And he goes out to the ring, no music, which I liked, just went right to the ring, grabbed a mic, and was like, "You fucking coward!"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I want your ass tonight." And he goes, "I want the championship. You give me what I want, and this sweet ass is all yours, buddy."
Yeah.
And then he said, "No, I want you in an I Quit match."
Yeah, he goes, "I'm gonna make you say I quit." And then Nick Aldis stands there, and he's got like a sideways thumb, and then with the happiest smile on his face I've ever seen, he gives a thumbs up, and everyone goes crazy.
He said, "Make it happen,"
yeah.
And it is happening. I think the last I Quit match was Edge and Finn Balor, or whoever it was with, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, so, and it's crazy if the one before that was, did Roman have one or no? No,
Roman had one with Jay.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So Roman had one with Jay, and so we haven't had an I Quit match in forever. So this is gonna be fire.
This doesn't really do AJ a whole lot of favors though if he's, taking the L to Cody.
Yeah.
Bro's just been on a losing streak. I'm glad he's in the world title picture, but he's just gonna keep losing.
Yeah.
Because you're not making Cody say I quit. That would be a crime.
Yeah, that would be insane to do right now.
But I think this is a good feud, and
do we think presumably this could be AJ's final?
His actual retirement?
Yeah, or at least for a while, probably like a long break.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he's got some gas left in the tank.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot more left to go. He's in the best shape of his life. Like, I can't speak to what ongoing injuries he might have sustained just from being a wrestler and whatever he has to deal with now, but I think he's got definitely like a few more years left in him. He's, I think, like 45 maybe.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know. It's not old for wrestling, but it's not young either. I'd say he's past his prime for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is his last match. I think maybe he loses this one, and then maybe he takes some time off. I don't really know. We wait and see. Cody's gonna go over, and I'm honestly looking ahead and just wondering who will be next to challenge.
Yeah, he's been like in these one-off feuds until he gets re-involved with presumably the Bloodline, or something. But he's been in like these one-off feuds, and I mean they're good once. It's just such a weird place right now too, because the pay-per-views have literally been every 2 weeks. Like Clash is this Saturday already, so they've had 1 week, and then they're gonna have this Friday, which is in Scotland. So it's just been so quick. It's been boom, boom, boom. So I feel like they haven't really had a lot of time to cook up a big feud at all. And even Money in the Bank's at what, the beginning of July or like mid-July?
Yes.
So
something like that. It's mid-July, I think.
Yeah, so after this Saturday, they'll have a few weeks to build to whatever they're going to do there, but it's just been so quick, so he's been in these one-off, like, things. I mean, I'm glad they're doing a second match with AJ, because that would have just been so weird to have that one Backlash match and then just move on, but... So this, you know, has a little bit more of a story build, but it still feels quick because it's, you know, pay-per-view after pay-per-view, so...
I think a feud can be done with someone who he has history with. My mind kind of almost immediately goes to Randy Orton.
That would be cool.
Because, I mean, he's out right now, though, with that knee, so...
Yeah, who knows how long that'll be.
Pretty sure it was a shoot injury. But, like, you know, they got the history with Legacy and whatnot. I'm just trying to think of, like, other people in the company that he's had, like a close relationship with or, like, a long-standing rivalry with, and I honestly can't think of, like, too many that, like, held any merit. Give him Braun Breaker, and then do, like, a Brock Lesnar type thing where he kind of, like, overcomes the beast.
Well, Braun's on Raw.
Oh, right, that's...
So again, like, who the fuck knows?
Who's on SmackDown? I actually, like, the LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Who else?
Maybe Carmelo.
Kevin Owens, that would be a good one.
Kevin Owens, yeah. Maybe Carmelo because they did that whole, like, first match. They had his debut match on SmackDown with him. Maybe they'll throw Carmelo in there, but that's a quick thing for Carmelo.
I would say do Kevin Owens first.
Yeah.
Get this Bloodline shit to blow over, and then, you know, him and Cody will have a great match.
Yeah.
But really, who is on SmackDown?
The
Bloodline, LA Knight, Carmelo, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens,
Randy,
and then Bailey, Piper, Nia Jax, Chelsea Green.
Yeah, like...
and then fucking Legado del Fantasma. That's all I can think of.
It's so...
I know there's more than that.
Yeah, there's
and the women's tag champs.
Yeah. But they're both, because they can go wherever.
Yeah.
It's not... I don't know, man. We even know if the draft wasn't pointless.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Jumping from WWE to AEW quickly. Not too much to cover with AEW, but quickly covering Rampage, I just have one thing, which was funny. The Bang Bang Gang officially inducted Juice Robinson, but they also referred to themselves as Bullet Club Gold again in the segment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? Pick a name.
So,
but
I think getting technical, I think Bang Bang Gang is without Juice Robinson, and then with Juice Robinson is Bullet Club Gold, because Juice Robinson and Jay White were Bullet Club Gold before the Guns were part of Bullet Club Gold, which is just really confusing.
So Bang Bang Gang is they have 9 belts and they're splitting them between 4 people now, which is funny. Like, they inducted him and they were like, hey, you're champ too. And everyone's like, wait, how does that work? Juice is sitting in the middle of the ring and they literally take 5 belts and put them on him, and they're like, I don't know what's going on. How does that work? So he stands up, he's holding 5 of them, but it's very funny. It's just like...
Oh, it's good. They're drowning in it. And it fits them as their characters. Funny little thing.
Yeah, Rampage, I mean, was Rampage. Nothing crazy.
Rampage. one-offs.
Collision, the tag match between FTW and fucking
FTR.
Oh, FTW. Yeah, FTR. The tag match between FTR and fucking... Why can't I think of their name, bro? Blackpool Combat Club. It was great. It was very good. It had a 20-minute time limit, and they reached the time limit. So the match ends in a draw, and everyone's like, what the fuck? No, the crowd's booing. They're like, come on. Dax picks up the mic, and he goes, come on, guys, 5 more minutes. Just give us 5 more minutes. We don't want to end this. We're both fighters. We can do this. And then, what's his name comes out? Who is it?
Brandon Cutler. So, if you don't know Brandon Cutler...
Yeah, I don't.
He's famously the Young Bucks stooge. He's just like when they do the Be the Elite vlogs, like, he's the cameraman. And like, I don't know, he's been friends with them for however long, but like, they started making him like the cameraman for their segments, like, on the actual shows, and then, you know, he'd come, he was very prominent in like 2021, 2022, because he'd come out with them, and he'd like film their matches, he'd have his camera,
okay,
and then he'd also spray them with cold spray. Like, whenever they were like taking a break, he'd just spray the shit out of them with cold spray.
That's funny.
And he's always wearing that ugly ass tracksuit.
Yeah.
He hasn't been out for a while, so I was actually pleasantly surprised to see him. But he came out, and he was like, "Hold on, just a minute. Like, the Young Bucks, you know, Matthew Nicholas Jackson sent me out here. The contract for this match says 20 minutes, not 25 minutes. So, and he like brings it into the ring and he's like, fucking read the contract. And they just do not care. Doesn't matter how big the fine is. They kicked Brandon Cutler's ass.
Yeah, all 4 of them.
All 4 of them. They worked together. They, you know, Cesaro did the giant swing, and then Wheeler Yuta finished it with a drop kick, and then they slingshotted him into FTR where they did the shatter machine, which was great. It still doesn't make up for the fact that we didn't get at least 5 more minutes of that match.
Yeah.
But I guess if we're going to follow the story, then it's going to be unfair sometimes. But then they ended the segment and they were like, hey, we'll run it back again soon. Like, just say the word and we'll fight you.
Yeah, so...
it was a very, very good match. I love FTR so much, dude.
Yeah. Exactly what we talked about. Like, FTR, they always put on a fucking banger. They're so good at what they do. Their music hits. Everyone goes crazy. I go crazy every time.
We had Dustin Rhodes in action. I cannot remember he faced Johnny TV. Kind of just a weird little match that I didn't know why it was happening. We don't really see a lot of Dustin Rhodes anymore. I did notice when he was coming out, his Tron said "One Last Ride" on it. And so immediately I'm like, oh shit, is Dustin Rhodes like retiring?
Yeah, is this like his final...
I was like, I hope this isn't his last match, because this would be a really bad last match. But then, like, after the match, they give him a mic, and I'm like, honestly, this feels like he's like about to retire. And he's like, man, I'm getting old, like, yada, yada, yada. He goes on. And he calls out Jack Perry, and he says, you ungrateful little scumbag. We gave you everything, and you are, like, taking advantage of this place. And he's like, I want a match with you on Dynamite.
Yeah.
And so it's booked. Dynamite. I found out his contract at AEW is coming to a close.
Dustin's is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And so that made a lot more sense of things for me. I was like, perhaps he is not renewing his contract.
Yeah.
The only outcome I see in this situation is Jack Perry does something very horrendous to this old man.
Yeah, and writes him off, yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know. That's what makes the most sense here. he's not renewing his contract.
We would see him go to Cody, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not in any like tag fashion, but
no,
as like
I was
an
almost
on-screen
thinking of,
personality.
Like a manager maybe.
Yeah.
Or like have him be involved in some way. Not that like Cody needs a manager.
No, not at all. But it would be cool. Because, like, you think about it, it sucks because, like, Dustin wasn't out there when Cody won, you know? Like, that's gotta suck. Just from, like, a personal standpoint. I'm sure he was in the crowd, but, like, he wasn't on screen with literally the rest of his family. So,
right.
you gotta, like, think about that and be like, damn, that fucking sucks. Like, your brother wins the title that your dad always wanted to win. Like, so, I mean, just from a personal standpoint, that's gotta suck. And, you know, I'm sure, like, if he is done wrestling in AEW, I think they could fit him in some way to WWE as a manager.
He could also just be a coach or producer. It's kind of what he was doing already.
Yeah.
In AEW. That's his role, more or less. And then he'd show up to get the brakes beaten off of him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Jack Perry's probably going to kill him.
Yeah. Maybe he'll set Dustin on fire. Who knows?
Crazy. Real fire.
Real fire. Moving from AEW to Monday Night Raw. Yesterday was a banger episode.
It was really good, dude.
Yeah, Raw's been killing it. Like, the past couple weeks, they've been doing really well. And they've been really entertaining. And I feel like the weekly programming has really taken a step up from during the Triple H era. I feel like it's really taken a step up overall. So it's been good to see.
Yeah, it is actually got me excited to watch Raw every week. I'm definitely liking Raw more than SmackDown for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like that's always been the case.
There was a long stint there where I was enjoying SmackDown more, and I think it was a mix of
Roman,
Michael Cole being on both, because Michael Cole really does make a difference. He makes a difference in the commentary, like, a lot. Not that Corey Graves and Wade Barrett are bad.
No,
but
they're an interesting duo.
They are, yeah. But there was a weird stint there where we had Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and what the fuck was his name? The other
Irish guy, Kevin Patrick.
Kevin Patrick. We had the three of them, and when we had Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick, it was not really that great. It was
insufferable, actually.
But we had the three of them, plus all the Bloodline stuff, and SmackDown was the better show for a hot minute there. But now, I feel like with all the stuff going on Raw, it's been making it really entertaining. Because the Bloodline stuff on SmackDown has kind of taken a step back, but it's obviously still one of the main two storylines. It's just Roman's not there, so it makes a big difference.
Right. Yeah. Totally. But yeah, Raw was good. We got more spiciness. It's getting spicier. So
spicy. So the main story on the show was definitely with Judgment Day. And there was a whole bit where at the beginning, Dominic goes to like the Judgment Day safe house area, and Liv Morgan is just sitting there, and she's like, "Hey, bestie." And he's like, "You can't be here. You can't be here." And she's like, "But I want to see you later. And I am going to give you this." And she like gives him her hotel key card. And he's like, "Oh, fuck, bro. Like, what am I going to do?" And then later on, Judgment Day, so Finn, JD, and Carlito are back there. And he's like, "Guys, I got to level with you. Liv gave me her hotel key card, and he smacks it on the table. And Carlito like all three of them are staring at it, and Carlito goes, "That's cool." JD goes,
Carlito likes cheating.
Yeah, Carlito goes, "That's cool," and JD's like, "Yeah," and Finn goes, "No, it's not cool," and they're like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah. No, poor Dom.
Yeah.
But really, when you look at it from 30,000 feet, it's like, you know, everyone's either like, yes, Dom, cheat.
Yeah.
Cheat on your girlfriend. Or, come on, Dom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's going to cheat. It's inevitable. Or he's going to get close to cheating.
Very close.
And then mommy's going to show up and it's going to be all over. And I hope mommy doesn't get her heart broken.
There is one other little thing in this that makes a big difference featuring this hotel key card. And there was a third segment backstage when Damian Priest comes back and they're all talking and he's like, "Yo, what's this I hear about a hotel key card and all this shit?" And they're like, "Where is it right now? Do you know?" And he's like, "No." And I don't know if you caught it, but Finn slipped it from the table and put it in his pocket. Finn took the hotel key card and put it in his pocket.
Okay. Fucking... What?
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that.
You didn't?
No! So, are we just all, like... We're just all going for Liv now? Or, like, did he hide it from Dom just to hide it from Dom?
I don't know if he was hiding it from Dom or if he has other intentions. Who knows? But yeah, he like slipped it and then they were like, "Yeah, I don't know where it is. Can't find it." And then that's the last we heard about the hotel key card. But then, we had the tag match between Braun Strowman, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day. And Liv Morgan comes out. And she's standing on the apron. Dom gets out of the ring and he's like, "What are you doing? You can't be here. Like, you gotta leave." Zelina Vega comes out of nowhere, hits Liv Morgan, and she falls right on top of Dom, dude. And she is straddling
She's
that
got him
man.
straddled.
And the strength. I saw a tweet today that said, "Dom has more strength than Hulk Hogan on steroids." God damn, bro. She was sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Zelina Vega beats the shit out of her, and then they get her out of there and all that jazz. But yeah, what is gonna happen with all this? I'm wondering if something is gonna happen when Damian Priest is in there. But you think like Damian Priest and Drew? I mean, it's got to be a CM Punk bit. I don't know if they'll involve Judgment Day in there. I think
this will be very separate because also they're banned from ringside.
Yes, so that was a thing later in the night where, so at the beginning of the show, Drew was on the mic and Damian came out and he was like, "Hey, tell you what, if you beat Finn tonight, then Judgment Day is barred from ringside." And we had some interference later on. Essentially, Judgment Day cost Finn the match. Drew wins, stares right into the eyes of Damian. Judgment Day is officially barred from ringside this Saturday.
It's true. And I think it's kind of to like trick people into being like, all right, Drew's going to win.
Yeah.
Because Damian doesn't have his boys.
Yeah.
We've been without CM Punk for just long enough for people to forget.
Yeah.
Or maybe they haven't forgotten. And I mean, he's going to show up. He's going to be in Scotland, baby.
Hell yeah, brother. Jumping back to the tag match real quick. I don't know if you caught this either, but when they were doing their celebration, Braun lifted up Dragon Lee and Zelina's arm, and he fucking almost like dislocated Zelina's arm because he didn't realize like she's so small. So he fucking picks her up and like off the ground. I was like, I was cackling.
This probably was the most hype match of the night.
Yeah, it was really
I'd
good.
Say. The crowd, it kept the crowd involved. You know, we got like 3 different stories here. It was fun. It's all good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov running it back.
Dude,
they
so
ran
good.
it back, and it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Ilya Dragunov selling like a madman. Braun Breaker hitting the ropes at 20 miles an hour.
Yep.
Oh my goodness!
It was a crazy match. It was brutal. Ilya was getting the shit kicked out of him, dude, and it was a crazy match. It was very good.
Yeah, and then, you know, Braun obviously comes out on top, and then he's not done with Ilya. He wants to spear him through the barricade.
Yep.
And Ricochet shows up, and he says, "Not today, buddy."
Yeah.
He fucking shows him, and Braun Breaker gets whacked over the barricade, and he said, "We'll see you later, pal." But unfortunately, that was not the end of that, because backstage, Ricochet was with Ilya, and he got ambushed by Braun. They fucking Braun. My goodness, dude! There was a point where he flung Ricochet like into one of the trailers.
Yeah.
And he just fell flat on his back onto concrete, dude.
It was high too.
I
Ricochet.
I actually cringed at it. It was fucking bad. And then he takes him over and sidewalk slams him into a fucking car windshield. Real glass, motherfucker.
You think that was real glass?
No.
I saw a funny thing. It was like, why isn't CM Punk complaining about this one? First of all, it's WWE. They probably bought that car. It's probably not a rental car. And also, it's probably not real.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, goofy argument.
Yeah, so dumb
to make.
So dumb.
In case you also didn't know, Ricochet's contract is ending in August.
Yes.
This is it. This is Ricochet being written off TV, I think. It looked pretty bad, and they even had Samantha Irvin leave in the ambulance with him. She was selling.
Yeah.
It like felt scary, and you know, again, he doesn't have plans on re-signing, it looks like. So
yeah, and then, you know, they also made Andrade just win the Speed Championship as well. So no more Speed for Ricochet.
People are already beginning to like think about the possibilities in the dream matches. A lot of people saying Ospreay versus Ricochet, running it back, because they used to a bunch back in the days of old.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, where's he gonna go? Because he could go anywhere at this point. Like, I know he's not retiring. He's in way too good shape, and he's still very young. We can always revisit this when his contract is actually up, or maybe perhaps when he makes his debut somewhere in like 3 or so months.
Or unless he changes his mind and says, hey,
he could also do that.
There is still time, so he could presumably still change his mind, because you got to think, like, obviously Samantha Irvin, he's engaged to her, and they're both on Raw, so, you know, that's got to be a good life for them, get to travel together and all that jazz. So if he goes to AEW, different nights, different travel, all that shit. But who knows, like, if obviously it's a whole creative thing, right, too. If he's not feeling creatively fulfilled, then he'll want to go somewhere where he wants to do that. I mean, I get that with creative fulfillment. Like, it's very understandable if he doesn't feel like he's moving anywhere in his career, because ultimately it is his career, even though he's engaged. Like, but yeah, he gets fucking obliterated, and she goes with him in the ambulance. So it's an interesting situation here, because, like, if he I'm bringing this up because I literally just watched the Busted Open clip about this beforehand, and they were mentioning, like, you know, why show her getting into the ambulance if they're not going to do anything further with it? So it makes it seem like maybe he did end up renewing, or like maybe he is changing his mind, like a last minute re-sign or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cause I don't know, it feels like, cause then you could have like Braun come out and look at her and like push it further, and then he eventually comes back. But honestly, who knows? Like, I'm not Ricochet. I don't know what's going through his head, you know?
Yep. It's like everything in wrestling. We wait and see.
Yeah.
We got some killer ring announcing on the last match because Samantha Irving obviously had to dip.
Yep.
And so Drew's music hits and Pat's like, wait, we don't have a ring announcer now. And then Michael Cole's like, oh, you should do it. And he does, and he gets on the mic and he's like, this Scottish motherfucker, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, he said the Scottish bastard. Drew Mac coming in at 250.
Yeah, oh man. And people were saying it was bad. Let me get more of it.
Oh,
man.
I loved it, dude. And then when Finn came out, he was like, representing the bum-ass Judgment Day. Coming in at 225. Finn Balor.
Yeah, he was cooking. Vince never would have let this happen, I don't think.
Not at all. It was funny, though, because he, like, got winded in his last sentence, and Michael Cole called him out. He was like, bro, you out of shape? You sounded a little winded there. He's like, I couldn't even get through the name. It was good. It was good stuff.
A good episode. Good, overall.
Yeah, very good episode of Raw, and a very good podcast episode.
I would say. Cody Rhodes is going to be on NXT tonight.
It's true. Galeer, thank you for picking me up in your car and having me.
Yeah, we had a little dinner emergency, so I'm at the grocery store to get some meat. I'm camping this weekend, so I'm gone until Monday.
A tragedy. So we'll have some more episodes next week. Presumably our reaction to Clash at the Castle. That'll be fun. Ooh.
Yeah, it'll be good. Thank you everybody for all that you do for this channel.
Yes.
Catch us on Ko-fi or Ko-fi.
Yeah, however you want to pronounce it. Link in the description down below if you are so inclined to tip us. Eventually, we may do some exclusive content on there, but, you know, nothing yet. But this is just some extra support if you wish to do so. If not, that's fine too. We get it. Shit's expensive in the world, so, you know, don't do it if you can't. But anything will greatly support us. Continue to comment, like, share, all that jazz. And thank you for all the support.
And be sure to Dropkick some meat in your fridge.
Hell yeah, brother. You know what else we're going to Dropkick?
The Commute.
Yeah, but I was also going to say maybe GCW soon.
GCW segment?
GCW segment soon.
Galeer
Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, not Game Changer. Moisten your palates if you feel like it. Go search on YouTube, Galeer Championship Wrestling. You'll know what we're talking about. And then, just moisten the palate.
Yeah. I'm going to go moisten my palate now.
With what?
Ghost Energy. Our sponsor for today's episode.
Of all energy drinks, why'd you have to pick that one?
I like Ghost. You know what? Fuck you. Beep beep.